My stomach dropped as I sat in my cozy Milwaukee apartment, surrounded by suitcases packed for our big family cruise, my mom's voice trembling through the phone. "Please, honey, Nan needs you right now. She's really not well." The words snuffed out my excitement like a candle in a storm. "I'll stay," I said without a second thought. The cruise doesn't matter if Nan's in trouble. I'm Lily Harper, 27, the dependable daughter who always stepped up when family called. But those words, my quick promise to help, would soon twist into a betrayal I never saw coming. I'd been counting down to this cruise for months, our first proper family vacation in years. Me, my parents, my younger sister Mia, and a few relatives, all set for a week in the Caribbean. I'd taken leave from my marketing job, splurged on sundresses, and saved for ages to cover my $2,000 ticket. But Mom's call about Nan being hospitalized changed everything. I canceled my plans and headed to the hospital that evening, worrying gnawing at me. Then my phone buzzed. A social media post from Mia. I pulled over, my heart racing as I stared at the photo. My entire family on the cruise ship, clinking champagne, grinning under asterisk best family vacation ever. Asterisk caption: Mom, Dad, Mia, my aunts and uncles all there, toasting without me. The betrayal hit like a punch, stealing my breath. They lied, used Nan to trick me, and left me behind. At the hospital, there was no record of Nan. My calls to my parents went to voicemail. Mia blocked me online minutes after I saw her post. Tears blurred my vision as I drove to Nan's house, where her porch light glowed. She opened the door, healthy and confused, her warm hug breaking me open. "Lily, what's wrong, love?" she asked, her cedar-scented cardigan wrapping me in comfort. In her living room, I spilled everything: the cruise, the lie about her illness, the photo that shattered my trust. Why would they do this? I choked out, wiping my eyes. Why use you to keep me away? Nan's face tightened with anger. Your mom called last week, asked me to play along if you came by, to say I'd been sick. I told her no, I never thought they'd go through with it. I'd grown up in Milwaukee watching my parents favor Mia. They paid for her art classes while I took out loans for college. I'd spent years helping Nan grocery runs, doctor visits, sorting her old recipe cards while Mia only showed up when she needed cash. Yet she was always their star. They didn't even need to lie, I said, my voice hollow. They could have just said they didn't want me there. Nan squeezed my hand, her eyes fierce. Sometimes people reveal exactly who they are, even when they think they're clever. The question is, what'll you do with that truth? I didn't know it then, but Nan had been watching our family's skewed dynamics for years, and she was ready to turn their deception into my redemption. The next morning, still reeling, I sat in my apartment sifting through Nan's bombshell, a thick folder she'd handed me after our talk. "I wasn't going to show you yet," she'd said, "but you need to know." Inside were bank statements, emails, and notes documenting years of my parents' favoritism every time they'd funded Mia's whims, her private school, her gap year trip, her new car while I worked double shifts to afford my degree. The pattern was stark, deliberate, undeniable, but the real gut punch was the cruise. 2 months ago, Nan had given my parents $12,000 to plan a family vacation, insisting it include everyone. Instead, they'd used my share to upgrade their cabins and book spa days, leaving me out. "I've seen how they treat you," Nan said, her voice heavy. I kept hoping they'd change, but this is too far. My phone buzzed a text from Mia, "Mom says you're lying about us. Why can't you just be happy instead of wrecking everything?" Rage flared. They were still painting me as the problem. Then another message from my cousin Ava, who didn't know I'd been excluded. She'd sent cruise photos to the family chat, not realizing I wasn't meant to see them. There was Mia in the sundress I'd helped her choose, my parents sipping cocktails by the pool, and my breath caught Mom wearing Nan's sapphire necklace, meant to be split between Mia and me on our 30th birthdays. They gave it to Mia already? I asked Nan, showing her the photo. I'm the older one. We were supposed to share it. Nan's jaw tightened. That necklace has been in our family for generations. I gave it to your mom with clear instructions: equal shares for you both. Then came the kicker: the cruise wasn't even their money. Non's $12,000 was meant for all of us. They've been taking advantage of you for years, she said. But no more. I stared at the folder, years of gaslighting unraveling. Why make me think I was crazy for noticing? Because that's what people do when they're guilty. Non said, they make you doubt yourself, but we're done with that, Lily. We're fighting back. The cruise lasted 7 days, and while my family partied at sea, I took action. Instead of answering Mia's text, I posted the truth online. Asterisk funny how I was told Non was in hospital just so my family could ditch me from our family cruise. Funnier still that it was paid with money meant for me. Asterisk, I attached Mia's glowing post, letting the truth speak. The response was instant. Friends, cousins, even old neighbors flooded my inbox with shock and support. Cousins who'd missed the full picture shared their own stories of my parents' bias. Then Dad called. Delete that post now, he snapped. You're humiliating. U.S. No, Dad, you humiliated yourselves, I said, my voice steady. You lied about Non, took her money, and cut me out. That's not family. That's not what happened, he argued. We needed a break from your constant neediness. My neediness? I laughed bitterly. You mean my showing up for Non? My trying to be part of this family despite your favoritism? He went quiet, then his tone turned dark. Take it down and apologize publicly, or you'll be sorry. You don't know what's at stake. Are you threatening me? I'm warning you, your mom and I have shielded you from things. Keep this up, and you'll see. The call ended, leaving me rattled. What things? I called Non. They're trying to scare me, I said. Dad says they've been protecting me, but won't say from what. Check your email, she said, her voice calm but firm. I'm sending you something. It's time you knew the whole story. My hands trembled as I opened the email. This wasn't just about a cruise anymore. Whatever nonsense would change everything, and my parents had every reason to fear what I'd find. The email held a scanned trust agreement from 25 years ago, left by my maternal granddad. He'd set aside $1.8 million for his grandchildren, to be split equally when we turned 30. My share, nearly $600,000, had been plundered. Bank statements showed withdrawals funding Mia's private school, her art degree, even her engagement party. My parents had convinced the trustee, their brother-in-law Uncle Tom, to release my portion early, claiming it was for my benefit. Instead, they'd spend it on Mia and pocketed chunks for themselves. They've been stealing from you since you were a toddler, Non said over the phone. I only found out last month when I pressed your mom. She swore they'd repay it. So I gave them the cruise money as a test. They failed, Lily, spectacularly. Another email arrived from Uncle Tom. Asterisk Lily, I can't stay silent anymore. The cruise was the final straw. I've attached every withdrawal they made from your trust. I'm sorry I didn't stop them. Asterisk the files revealed more my parents had. Siphoned trust money for their own vacations, a new car, even home renovations. The cruise was just the latest theft. Why didn't you tell me? I asked Non, my voice breaking. I wanted to be sure, she said. Now we have proof. Tom's testimony, my records, their cruise stunt. We can fight this. Fight how? Check the second attachment, she said, a steel edge to her voice. I opened it. Non's updated will. She'd made me sole heir to her estate, including majority shares in the family brewery where Dad was coup. They're about to learn, she said, that betrayal has a price. The next day, I met Uncle Tom at a Milwaukee diner. He looked exhausted, handing me a folder thick with evidence. I've sent copies to the family lawyer, he said. Your parents are panicking. They've called me nonstop since my email. What are they saying? I asked, flipping through records of their theft, that it was for your protection, to keep you from squandering money young. But there's more. He slid over another document, transfers to an offshore account. They're planning to flee. Lily, the cruise was a dry run to test their passports. They're moving what's left of your trust to accounts in Mia's name. My phone buzzed. Mia, asterisk, I know you're stirring trouble. You've always been jealous, and now you're ruining us. Too late, Lily, by the time you get it, we'll be gone, and you'll have nothing. Asterisk, I showed Tom, whose face paled there. Moving fast, we need to act. I called Nan. They're at the brewery now, she said. Your dad's clearing his office. Security tipped me off. Can they stop him better? I've called the police and FBI's financial crimes unit, and Lily, you're the majority shareholder now. The papers were filed this morning. I stood, adrenaline surging. They don't know, do they? Not yet. That's our edge. Get there before they destroy evidence. As I sped to the brewery, Mom texted, asterisk, you selfish girl. After all we've done, you'll regret this. Asterisk, for the first time, their threats didn't shake me. I had truth, proof, and Nan's iron will behind me. I pulled into the brewery lot just as my parents and Mia emerged, arms full of boxes from Dad's office. They froze when they saw me. What are you doing here? Dad barked, his cool swagger faltering. Funny, I was going to ask you, I said, stepping forward, especially since you're taking things from asterisk my asterisk company without permission. Your company? Mia sneered, what are you on about? I held up my phone, showing the shareholder transfer. Nan gave me her controlling shares this morning. As majority owner, I'm curious about those boxes. Got evidence of what you did with my trust fund in there. Mom's face drained of color. Behind them, police cars rolled in, FBI agents stepping out. Uncle Tom's car arrived, Nan in the front seat, her expression fierce. You don't get it, Mom stammered. We did this for the family. No, I said, my voice steady. You did it for Mia, and now you're running with what's left of my money. I turned to Mia. Was the cruise worth it? Mia, lying about Nan, ditching me. Mia's eyes welled, but she said nothing as an agent approached. Dad tried to pull her away, but the FBI closed in. The truth had caught them. 3 months later, I sat on Nan's porch, sipping tea as spring bloomed around us. The FBI's investigation uncovered more than we dreamed. My parents had embezzled not just my trust, but brewery funds, facing federal charges and shareholder lawsuits. Mia, to avoid jail, testified against them, then moved to Oregon, cut off from family money. Her apology letter arrived, long and tear-stained, but some scars words can't heal. You know, Nan said, setting down her cup, your granddad would be proud. He always said money shows people's true colors. I nodded, thinking of the brewery's new path under my leadership. I'd launched a mentorship program for local youth and overhauled financial transparency. The business was soaring, rooted in honesty, not deceit. I didn't want this, I admitted. I just wanted to be included. Nan took my hand. Sometimes the hardest betrayals lead to the greatest strengths. You've turned their lies into your purpose. She was right. That cruise, the one they'd schemed to keep me from, hadn't been their triumph. It had been their undoing, and my beginning. My trust fund was gone, but I'd gained something priceless. My voice, my worth, and a future they couldn't touch. As I looked out at Nan's garden, the weight of their betrayal lifted, replaced by a quiet, hard-won peace. They gambled on my loyalty and lost. And I'd won everything that mattered.